Hello again. This is going to be another video. This is specifically to help with the events calendar, which is the calendar that a lot of the churches have chosen to use so far. So let's walk through how you could put an event up there. And if you have more questions regarding how to make some graphics for it or little details, we can talk about those later. But for right now, here's a basic overview on how to make this work. So again, if I had logged into Squarespace, I'm going to get this page. I'm going to go to Pages. And for right now, we're going to be looking specifically at the Hill Country page because this is where I have the calendar set up so far. If you guys went to the Hill Country page, you can see that the brunt of the work is done here. And the calendar that we're specifically talking about sits here at the bottom of their page. This is where the calendar will show up. This is not where you do the editing of the calendar. Okay, think of this as kind of like a pointer to the calendar. That looks cool and everything, but all the information is stored someplace else. So come back over here to your navigation menu, and we're going to scroll all the way down to not linked pages. I will make one of these for each church that wants to use an event calendar. So I have Hill Country Events. I click on that. This is going to look very similar to you guys that have done the uploadings of the sermons. It kind of functions in a really similar manner, which is nice. So let's say I'm going to add a new event. I've obviously just thrown in some test events here just to kind of show how it functions. I'm going to go up to the plus, and let's just make test event 5 since I have 4 other ones. And there's a couple different things that I can do on here. Okay, my mom just texted me. Let's just get rid of that for a moment. I'm going to go to options. One thing that we want to make sure we're doing is we're going to upload an image every time with this. That's part of what makes this graphically kind of cool. So this would be an image that you already made or you had a picture from something. And I'm going to use something that totally doesn't even make sense for being an event, but just so I can put an image on there. This is actually our VBS shirt for this year. So that will load and go on here, no big deal. Down here is an important part on this. This is what's going to show up if you want it to back on your web page saying, hey, here's what this event is about. So for right now, we're just going to say test event VBS shirts. All right. You would probably have more information like 5 to 6 on Saturday the 28th. We'll be having a fellowship at our church where we're all bringing covered dishes. Whatever you want to put, this is what's going to clue people into what the event is about. You have an option here with location. You can put your church name in here, and this is all through Google, so this will find your church once you start putting the address in there. Or if you guys are hosting an event, I know North Texas, for instance, sometimes does stuff at a local park. So put that information in here, and this will be easily viewable by anyone that visits your website on where this is actually happening. There's also an option, and we can talk about this more later with individual churches, that this is an area for those churches that have Facebook pages. You can link our website that we're making right now to your Facebook page. So I would make all this event information here in Squarespace, and here I could link to your page. So when you put this on your website, it also puts it on Facebook. It's just a way of getting information out there in multiple ways and really like the click of a button. That's something we can come back to with each individual church. I'm going to go back to options. All right, I have my thumbnail image, super important. I have my blurb here on what it's going to say. I'm going to go back to content. Here, I need to set the date for this. For right now, just so we'll show up in a different area than what I've already put up here, I'm going to put that we're starting on the 16th. All right, you can also set the time here, do it right here. You set the end time, and Squarespace will take care of the rest on putting your events in chronological order. Here's the only kind of duplicating type work you need to do with this one. You're going to want to put some information down here as well, and I'll show you why in a minute. But for right now, I'm going to add an image, and I'm going to add in the exact same image of that t-shirt that I put when I was up in options. We can talk about what you guys want to do individually with design. Every church doesn't have to do the same thing. It can look a little different, and that's totally fine. I would say if you're in charge of uploading an event, poke around with these. You're not going to mess anything up. See what your options are, and if there's a style that you or your website committee or church wants to go with it. I love the fact that all the church's websites have continuity. There's just no reason they have to look exactly the same. So again, let's have this be a conversation for later, or you guys do a little poking around and see what you like. So I put my image in there. I'm going to hit apply. That just means it's there. And then I'm going to come up to that little circle with the line across again, and I'm going to put a little text in here and say this is the VBS shirt event. Join us. This would probably be similar to the information that you wrote when we were back in options. Or if you wanted to write a little more information to let them know exactly what was going on at this event, this would be the place to do it. After I've done all this, I'm going to hit save and publish. Because I made this event starting on April 16th and our other ones were April 13th, it's just down at the bottom of the page. See, there's our nice event. Squarespace puts the date on here and it's sorted through everything else. You are done at that point. However, just to understand where this all shows up, go back up here to pages. And now we're going to look at the Hill Country page. I'm going to make this big so we can see a little bit better. If I scroll down here, the Hill Country page is set up just to show 3 events at a time. But I can arrow over and I see the next events. Here's our event that we just added. All right, this was all the information that we put in when we were under the Options tab. If someone clicks on this, they're going to go to this page and you get a full page of information. This is the information that we put just in the big white square that opened, not under the Options tab. This is why you want to put text again in a picture. Sometimes it seems a little redundant, but this is a great place to really kind of give some more information on what's going on with the event. After someone looks at this, they can just scroll back to the page that they were on. But that's how the events calendar works. I think it's really nice to show graphically what's going on at your church. This is something, though, that each church needs to decide, are they going to be updating it or am I going to be updating it? I don't mind helping out. We just have to have some really good communication, because the best way that your calendar is going to function is by having your information up there for a little while for people to see. So that should get you started. That should allow you to populate the events calendar with some stuff that you guys have going on. And as always, if you have any questions, let me know and we can sort through any of it. Thanks.